right? So today we are going to study about economic anthropology. So in this topic basically we are going to study about at first what is economic anthropology, second a scope of economic anthropology, third relevance of economic anthropology, right? So for the understanding of economic anthropology, at first we try to understand about these three important aspects of economic anthropology. First, what is economic anthropology? Second, a scope of economic anthropology, and third, relevance of economic anthropology, right? And when we are going to study economic anthropology, we also try to understand how economic anthropology is different from economics, right? How economic anthropology is different from economics. So, first, this is sub branch of socio-cultural anthropology, which deals with the study of economic activity of mankind cross culturally and holistically. Means in economic anthropology we study about economic activity of mankind cross culturally. Means we study economic activity of different society, and we try to do comparison among economic activity of this society. Second, holistically, means here we are not only going to study about only economic activity of that society. We make correlation between economic activity of that society and their cultural activity, right? Because in economic anthropology, our main focus about the study of primitive economy. Our main focus about how to understand about primitive economy. But when we are going to study about primitive economy, we also try to understand about modern economy and how primitive economy is different from modern economy. This is also an important subject matter of economic anthropology, right? So, when we are going to study economic anthropology, we also try to understand how that economic anthropology is different from economics, right? This is quite different from economics, because if you try to understand about how economic anthropology is different from economics, so economics is an important discipline which focuses to study about economic activity of mankind according to economic perspective.
Sir, what all activities will come in economic activities?
All economic activity means production, consumption, distribution and exchange. There are four important aspects of economic activity, that is production, consumption, distribution and exchange. But when we try to compare between economic anthropology and economics, so we found that there are some interrelationship between economic anthropology and economics, but both are fundamentally different. How both are fundamentally different? Because economic mainly focus to modern economy. Here, economists mainly focus to study about modern economy, and economic anthropologists focus to study about primitive economy. Second important thing is that a scope of economic anthropology is wider. Why wider? Because economic anthropologists study primitive economy,
Various aspects.
as well as modern economy. But their main focus is study about primitive economy. Second important thing is that when economic anthropologists try to understand about the economic aspect of primitive people, they make correlation between economy and their culture. They try to understand about their economic activity on the basis of their culture, because there are deep interrelationship between economy and culture of primitive people. We can't understand about the economic activity of primitive people without understanding of their culture. So here, in economic anthropology, we study about economic anthropology, economic aspect of the people according to a study of their culture. And here, in economics, they mainly study about economic perspective. Their perspective is quite clear. They study that thing according to economic perspective, not according to socio-cultural perspective. Right? Third important thing is that in economic anthropology we follow holistic approach, and they follow mainly atomistic approach. Atomistic approach. Right? Next, in economic anthropology, we utilize fieldwork method or participant observation in economics. They utilize economic survey method or mathematical method. Right? Here we utilize both qualitative and quantitative data. And they mainly utilize quantitative data. Qualitative means they collect data about their ideology behind economic activity, right? Their ideology behind economic activity. Next, in economics,
Why that ideology is also important, sir?
ideology, because when they are going to do economic activity, they worship their god and goddess, and they think that that production is better due to the bliss of their god and goddess.
Okay, so religion is also involved in economic activities as well.
Yeah, I already said that without understanding of their culture, you can't understand about their economic activity. You can't understand their consumption pattern, their distribution and exchange, because that economy is non-monetary economy, non-monetary economy.
Barter system.
Yeah, or participant observer system, or reciprocity and redistribution, right? Here their economy is based on monetary economy. So here they study economic activity on the basis of the concept of demand and
Supply.
supply. It has very important role for the understanding of economic activity of modern people. But here the theory of demand and supply and modern economics theories has little relevance for the understanding of economic activity of primitive people.
Why, sir? Obviously, something will be produced more if the demand is more. For example, the food items.
But
the food items.
but their economy is not based on monetary economy, not based on market economy. They produce something for the fulfillment of their basic
only
need.
the subsistence kind of agriculture. might
Yeah,
be there.
they produce something for the fulfillment of their basic need. They are not producing something for the fulfillment of the need of market,
Self-sufficiency.
right? So basically, anthropologists mainly focus to study about pre-market, pre-industrial, primitive economic system. Our focus is here,
Pre-industrial.
pre-industrial. So there are deep differences between economics and economic anthropology. So on the basis of that, you can understand about differences between economic anthropology and economics, right? One times UPSC has asked question about differences between economics and economic anthropology. So on the basis of that, you can understand. But you have to write your conclusion instead of these differences. There are deep interrelationship between economic anthropology and economics, because recently both economic anthropologists and economists are working together for the better understanding of economic problem of contemporary society as well as primitive society. Because our goal is that how to transform primitive economy in modern economy. So when we try to transform primitive society into modern society, or primitive economy into modern economy, then we have need about the cooperation of economic anthropologists and economists, both. So both are working together for better understanding of economic problem of primitive people and also better understanding of economic problem of our contemporary society. Right? This is differences between economic anthropology and economics. And next, a scope of economic anthropology. Right? So when you are going to write about the scope of economic anthropology, at first you try to define economic anthropology is the sub-branch of socio-cultural anthropology, which deals with the study of economic aspect of mankind cross-culturally and holistically, right? But economic anthropology also does comparative study of primitive economy and modern economy, right? Means here we also study about primitive economy and modern economy. And we follow comparative method. We do comparison. So when we are going to study primitive economy, that economy is regulated by their ecology and environment. Always try to understand. In primitive economy, the role of economy and environment is very important. Why? Because their technology is very simple. This is very simple. So in primitive economy, for the understanding of primitive economy, we study about techno-environmental relations, and we try to understand their economic activity according to techno-environmental relations. Because their technology is very simple, so we found that primitive people produce something which available in their environment. As for example, Bushmen of Africa does hunting food gathering because they lived in desert-like area. So they are doing hunting food gathering. Trobriand Islanders lived in island, so they are mainly doing fishing. Maler Hill tribe of Jharkhand, they are living in hilly area, so they are doing shifting cultivation, right? And Santhal Munda Oran lived in plain area, so they are doing agriculture. So here, when we are going to study about primitive economy and basically their production system, so we found that their production system is controlled by their ecology and environment. But in modern economy,
Shifting agriculture is also there.
yeah, in modern economy, here technology is very advanced. So their economy is not more influenced by their environment and ecology. As for example, Japan has little natural resources, but Japan became industrialized country due to technology, utilization of high level of technology, right? Second important thing is that in primitive economy, their economy is subsistence economy. Subsistence economy.
Actually, sir, what does this show? If somebody has subsistence economy, what does it show that their desire are lesser?
Because they are producing only those things which fulfill their basic need.
Why they are not?
They are simple people. They are simple people. They are not integrated with market economy. They are not integrated with monetary economy. There are no concept about profit and gain. They are doing economic activity for the fulfillment of the need of their community. So their economy is basically based on subsistence economy. Their economy is based on the fulfillment of their consumption. So in primitive economy, there is little surplus production, right? They producing something for the fulfillment of their consumptional need. They are not producing something for the fulfillment of the need of market, right? So when we try to understand about primitive economic system, their production system, their consumption system, their distribution and exchange, we found that people produce something for the fulfillment of their basic need. right? But in modern economy, it is a surplus economy. Surplus economy. So, in modern economic system, producer producing something for profit, for market, not for the fulfillment of their own need. Therefore, the nature of modern economy is very complex, and here the nature of primitive economy is very simple, right? Here the nature of primitive economy is very simple. Third important thing is that in primitive economy there is no labor organization, no labor organization, right? Because labor supply done by the member of society on the basis of reciprocity. In primitive economic system there is no labor market, right? Because labor provided by the member of family, member of kinship, member of lineage, and that labor supply on the basis of the concept of reciprocity.
What does that mean, sir?
Means exchange of labor with each other. One day some people go to do work in the field of particular person, another day that people also go in the field of previous
They will
people.
exchange labor according to their needs.
Yeah, because there is no labor market, so labor supply done by the member of society for production. Here there
Sir,
is
the division of labor out there in travel society
division of labor
and specialization, right?
on the basis of age and sex, but here I am saying that there is no labor market,
Okay.
right? There is no concept of wage-based labor, right?
Sir, how there will be division of labor? Matlab, if there are certain kind of people who are into one
There are division of labor on the basis of sex and age. Here I already said that on the basis of sex and age means generally hunting done by male
Okay.
and collecting done by female, cooking done by female, right? Child caring done by female.
Okay.
So there are some division of labor.
Based on the skill set and positives and negatives.
Yeah. But there is no concept of wage-based labor supply, because there are no labor organization, there are no labor market, there are no payment-based laborer. But in modern society, there is well-developed labor market. Right? So in modern economy, we utilize about wage-based laborer for production. Third important thing is that here distribution and exchange based on reciprocity and redistribution. So reciprocal relationship very important in primitive economy. So when economic anthropologists go to a study about primitive economy, they try to understand about the role of reciprocal relationship in their economy, right? And here they use monetary and market-based exchange and distribution system. Right? Next important thing when we are going to study about primitive economy or economic anthropology, in economic anthropology, we try to understand about their economic activity on the basis of a study of their culture, their religion. Because generally primitive people believe that their whole economic life is regulated by their supernatural element, their spirit, their god and goddess, right? So, before going to do economic production, they worship their god and goddess, and after economic production, they worship their god and goddess. So, their every economic activity regulated by, influenced by their supernatural element. But in modern economy, there is little influence of supernatural element in our economic production system. So, when economic anthropologists try to study about primitive economy, they keep focus about that aspect of economic activity of primitive people and correlate with the aspect of modern people. Therefore, a scope of economic anthropology became very wider. Next important thing is that recently, in the era of globalization, industrialization, there are rapid integration between primitive economy and modern economy. Try to understand here. Economic anthropologists also interested to study about integration of primitive economy with modern economy due to the process of globalization, industrialization, urbanization, right? So, how that process of globalization influence about primitive economy, primitive society, because due to that process there is rapid transformation of primitive economy and primitive society from primitive to modern, and therefore, due to that process exploitation of primitive people very increased. So, here economic anthropologists study how to transform that primitive people very peacefully, and through that their living condition can be improved and their culture can be protected. So, recently this subject matter got very important position in the field of economic anthropology. This is the very important, and therefore, the scope of economic anthropology become very wider also, because recently tribal people and primitive people adopted monetary economy also, and now they are influenced by theory of demand and supply also. So, how that modern activity influence about the life of that people, their economy and their society, this is also an important subject matter of economic anthropology, and therefore, a scope of economic anthropology is very wider. Relevance of economic anthropology, right? So, for the understanding of relevance, we understand about the practical application of knowledge and data of economic anthropology for development of human society, how knowledge and data is useful for the development of human society, for the welfare of weaker section, right? So, basically it is very relevant because first, knowledge and data gathered by economic anthropologists is useful for the making policy program for tribal development, their implementation and rehabilitation.
applied anthropology.
Yeah. Application of knowledge and data of economic anthropology for making policy program for tribal development, their implementation and evaluation. Second important thing is that because we adopt top-down approach for economic development, so due to top-down approach for economic development, there are rapid displacement of tribal people, and therefore an important problem arises about rehabilitation of tribal people. So, knowledge and data of economic anthropology is very useful for the understanding of displacement problem of tribal people and rehabilitation for tribal people, because LP Vidyarthi had given an important approach, nature man spirit complex for the understanding of tribal society. That approach is very relevant for the understanding of problem of displacement and rehabilitation. And when we are going to make rehabilitation program of tribal people, we should make their rehabilitation program on the basis of their nature man spirit complex. Third important thing is that when we are going to study economic anthropology, we found that our tribal peoples are natural protector of their ecology and environment, right? They are the natural protector of their ecology and environment. So, there are a problem arises in our society about ecological imbalance and environment pollution. So, knowledge gathered by economic anthropology is useful for the solution of ecological imbalance and environmental pollution in our society, right? When we apply about their tribals approach, then we can reduce that problem. Fourth important problem in our society is that due to modern capitalist economy or globalization process, the economic development program more benefited to developed population and less benefited to poorer population. It has harmful effect on people who under the poverty line and beneficial impact on that people who upper about poverty line,
APL.
right? APL. Most of tribal people under BPL. So, how that process can be benefited to tribal people, that concept we got from economic anthropology. Fifth important thing is that there are some tribal band society who are facing about the problem of depopulation. Depopulation. This is the problem related to some band society, some hunter food gather society. Their population is decreasing, right? Even we are saying that we are becoming a very economically strong country, and in future we can become developed country, but there are some tribal people who are facing problem like depopulation, right? They are facing about the problems of malnutrition, because one hand we capture about the natural resources, another hand we have not provided them modern education, modern health facility, we have not teach them modern technology. So, they have very big challenge how to survive that people. So, that problem can be solved in the light of the data of economic anthropology. This is the very big problem, right? Next important thing is that when we are going to study about economic anthropology, we found that a tribal economy is based on the concept of sustainable development. So, how we implement sustainable development program in practical way, that insight we got from economic anthropology, because their economy is based on the concept of sustainable development, right? They are using their resources for the fulfillment of their basic need, not for the fulfillment of their luxurious need. Right? Next important thing is that their concept of reciprocity and redistribution system of exchange is very useful for the solution of various economic and social problems of our contemporary society.
How is that, sir?
You can understand about the approach of Bill Gates, what Bill Gates had done,
Philanthropy.
right? Bill Gates had distributed their wealth for weaker section. So why not people who belongs from our society, they are economically rich, they invest their money for the upliftment of weaker section. That approach can be developed in our society also on the basis of a study of economic anthropology, and therefore economic anthropology is relevant for our contemporary society.